Hey guys, what's going on? This is a continuation tutorial on the stuff that I look at when I review a course. This happens to be my course, and if you check out the last couple of videos, what I've been doing is going through the course, tearing it apart, um, showing you the fails of the course design that I did about a year ago, and literally tearing the course apart and redoing it, to get it at least to a point where we could uh, classify it as, you know, at least database worthy, right? So as I'm going through here, I thought I was done the first 14 holes or 13 holes, and then I forgot that I did this tee box on number one. All right, it looks like shit. It, you know, I don't know what I did. It's been raised up. It's got this funky area here. I don't know why I thought that was very cool. So this being pin one, I'm going to get rid of this and redo this tee box because it's a fail. Need to get that shape selected, which is never fun. There we go. That's the problem with shapes. Even though I like using them, you need to edit these suckers. There's one special spot. Oh, had it there. All right, don't move it, Kent. So once you find it, you're golden. All right, fairway brush, and that's the problem with this. You have to delete each layer. All right, so now we're down to just the terrain. The terrain looks like crap. All right, so let's get our fuzzy brush, page 4, and let's stretch this out because I had no clue what I was doing. So you have to think about the grand scale of things, right? So you need to smooth all that crap out. You can't make it look like, you just elevated, which I did, elevated the area. Bear with me one sec here. All right, so let's take a look at this. All right, much better. It's natural looking and no funky tee box. So now what I'm going to do is create new tee boxes, round ones, which is what I've been doing. All right, keep pretty much the same distance. And as long as you don't move that mouse, you're golden. All right, so I don't know. Let's put this one down here somewhere. Whoops. No, I don't want a bunker. And I use the keyboard when I'm doing my designing. I just like it so much better because it's just so exact. You know, you don't have to touch anything. And everything stays lined up. Like if I just happen to hit that circle and move it a little bit, the rough that I'm creating right now would be funky looking. It wouldn't be lined up perfectly around the circle. So because I don't have to move it, we're golden. And every tee box comes out perfect. So we went from that crappy looking tee box to round ones now. Now we need to move these tees. Okay. Move these. They're red tees, so they need to go up here. These are the green tees. I mean, it's pretty amazing how you can look at a course and, you know, that you designed and you realize how crappy it really is now, you know, after a year and a half. I never designed until TGC 2019. So just testing something there. So we've got, hey, Bill, what's up, man? Hey, Dave. Yeah, so I'm finishing up a tutorial today. I'm going to go over Bill Sellers' course after this. I'll actually split the stream so it's separate. But you know, I've been meaning to do this. Some people have asked me, how do you fix the stuff, right? So this course was a total dumpster fire. It was denied by Matt Fritsch, who, you know, marked my first course as tour worthy, and the second course he said it's a piece of crap and denied it. And then as I went through it, um, you know, it is. It's a piece of crap. I didn't put any thought into anything. I was trying all sorts of new stuff. So I think that was part of my problem. Um, so what I'm doing is pointing out the fails, and we need to move that waypoint. Um, hey, Figs and Pigs, what's up, man? Well, this thing, you know, this is going to be like a 30,000 foot view. Like last night, I did a couple videos, right? Um, this was one of my fantasy courses I did that was a fail. I mean, it was just terrible. I started using, you can see there, I never used brushes to create fairways. All of a sudden, I saw a video like, oh yeah, you can use shapes and blah 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 blah. I'm like, whoa, dude, that's cool. So let's try shapes. Well, now this one I cleaned up already, but and left a couple of them in place. But there was one hole in particular that was so freaking bad. I had to rip out the entire uh, hole, which I think was hole number 13. Let's see. Was it, did I finish 14? 14 is the one. So this, you would have to go back. No, this isn't the one. There was one hole. I fixed it already. I don't know if it wasn't 13, but there were some holes that were so freaking bad with the tee boxes. Wait until you see the one I'm going to start on. I think I did 14. Let's see if 14 is completed. I know I did 13 last night. This looks better. It has the round tees. Um, I stripped out some trees, and that's another thing that bugs me. All right, so when there's nothing more annoying than when you're trying to putt and you see the leaves moving all around all the time. So this fairway was a total fail on 14, as well as this tee box. All right. So I made a gradual slope down, and it looks pretty natural. It's fine. All right. You would have to go back and watch the video to see how shitty this frickin' thing was. I mean, I I can't even explain. Hold on. I got to show you guys. I mean, it's pathetic. So this thing was so bad. And I mean, this whole area over here. Let me see if I can find this video on Twitch real quick or YouTube. I got to show it to you. I mean, it was so bad that, uh, I just had to rip out everything. Let's see. Videos, bear with me. All right, so there's the video. All right. Dumpster fire. Play it. Let me see if I can find this hole. I mean, you can't appreciate how bad this frickin' course was. And I'm going to share my screen here. Bear with me with my thread here. Let's change my view to display capture. Hopefully you can see it. This thing from last night, what hole's this? This is 11. So let's see, 14 was what? This was not the hole. All right, this is hole 12. We're getting there. But yeah, I mean, if you go back and watch my videos from last night, it was a joke. All right, this is still 13. We're getting there. Here's 14. Look at this. Look at that. Look how pathetic that is. I mean, I just had cliffs everywhere. I raised it up. I did, so I took it from this mess, okay, and actually changed it to this, okay. No cliffs, no nothing. And I still have a good view. All right, my sight line's still good. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. I mean, it's just, I didn't know any better. So I had this shit like 50 feet in the air. I'm like, whoa, that would be pretty cool, dude, to, hit down on the fairway from 50 feet. No, it was a fail. So I ended up ripping all that out. You can see there's no cliffs anywhere like I had here. I mean, it's just, and you'll see how much I had to do to fix that. But anyway, so wait until you see the 4 holes that I'm going to do for this video, because the further I got along in this course, the more I didn't give a shit. and it just got me more frustrated by the hole. And by the time I got to 17 and 18, I had given up and I was just throwing crap in there just to finish, and it shows. So let me get back into the TGC, get rid of the display capture, and here we go. All right, so 14. 14 is fixed now. 14, I actually had to rip the fairway out completely, because I used shapes and it just looked like a roller coaster. Um, Now, could I go back in here and clean some splines up? Yes, I could, you know, to clean up these lines. All right. Oh man, that looks like crap. Um, oh, I know why too, because I have heavy rough going right over to the fairway. See how this is all wavy? So there's another fail. All right. So anyway, so this one, I had a big ass lump here. I had to flatten all this out. Wait until you see this hole now. Look at this. Look at this shit. That that it's a joke. I mean, look at this. I just raised it up. I said, "Oh, oh, dude, that's cool," you know. And I made up this. I don't know where I came up with this idea of, oh yeah, I'll just sink it down further and further. I mean, the general idea I understand. So now I have to take this whole area, you know. So this I have to completely redo, right? I don't know where I came up with this idea of just raising it up unnaturally. And this is what I bitch about when I do review these courses that we look at, right? And here I am doing it. So I need to get out the brush I tell everybody that gets denied to use, which is that one, page 4, top left. You live on it. All right. So, and again, it's just a big dumpster fire. Um, so I try to, I'm trying not to really ruin this green back here, but if it is, it is. I mean, I have to fix this area, you know. I've got to make it look natural, which I had no freaking clue how to do back then, obviously. All right. So, unfortunately, I had to hit this screen, and I can already see that it's illegal. So I got to go back here and readjust the screen a little bit. So I want undulation, and I always set mine up for 187s. I love very fast greens, and this looks pretty good right now, except for that pin. And again, I might have to just so this is good. And this is not what I'm going to do on the video. I'm not worrying about undulations and greens for right now. So this major screw up, as you can see, that cliff that I created is gone, which is great. So now what I need to figure out is what I'm going to do with this piece of crap. Um, I could theoretically leave this alone. It's pretty flat now and use this shape, but I'm trying to keep it consistent with round. Plus round, you can put different areas, stick them in different areas, different angles and all that. So let's, and again, shapes are a pain in the ass to work with, trying to edit and delete them because there's different levels. So 8, 3, then 7, 3, Another 7-3, get rid of. I use keyboard, by the way. I love keyboard when I'm designing, and mouse. All right, so we got rid of those. Now we can create some real tee boxes. And let's see, we'll throw one over here. All right, and then create another one. So we'll just throw that here. And the other reason I love the keyboard is I don't have to move that blue circle to add any, the rough around it or whatever I decide to put around that tee box, which means it's perfect every time, right? So 3, we're going to do a fairway, and let's see, we'll put one over here. Yeah, Bill, go ahead, man. All right, so what are we doing here? Brush. We're in the rough. 3 clicks will do it. And one more for the ladies. Whoops, I don't want a bunker. And the ladies' tee can pretty much just go there. Yeah, the waypoint always, I mean, most people design from the back tees, at least I do, right? So, like right now, this waypoint is not where I want it. All right, so I'll take that waypoint and move that back to the back tee where I'm going to have that set up because it's the most important one. I want to see, and again, if I was designing from scratch, which I will do another tutorial on how to create an entire um, course from scratch. All right, but for this one, my goal is just to show people what I look at, tear apart, and rip them about. But I also want to say, here's my course. It's a total fail, and let's fix it. So you guys know, how to fix it. Like this. I never use shapes ever, and I'll never do it again. But for some reason, I saw somebody do it. I'm like, whoa, dude, that's cool. Like Greg, he uses shapes. Well, I think he's now doing splines, but he used to always use shapes. And the cool thing is they're smooth all the time, but they're a pain in the ass. So that I would never do again. I would never use shapes for fairways. I use shapes all the time for these. So let's see. Yeah, so because the most important thing is the waypoint from the black tees. So I'm going to move these bad boys over here. This is the white tees, right? Green tees. Nope, they're in the red. And let's get that one lined up. And let's just flatten these things. I always use this brush and I cheat. I grab this one, I make it small, and just flatten around the T markers so it looks good, right? is you surely don't want to use that brush and expand it out past your tee area because it'll look like crap. That's where the unnatural stuff comes into play. All right, so this is good. So we took it from looking like a total piece of crap noob thing to actually making it look at least decent. Now, are my sight lines still good? I don't know. Let's find out. Play test from the black tees. Let's just play that hole. Let's see if I can see my bunkers. That looks much better. Oh, there's an AutoGen plant there. All right, so the answer is yes. So I can still play. I can see my bunkers. They pop. That bunker comes into play, and that's why it's so important to do the black with waypoints, because you want to make sure that your hazards come into play for the most popular tee set, right? And expand the pond. You mean from? Yeah, I think I put them there, Figs. Let's just see. See, and again, like these bunkers. This is when I was hanging out with Dylan Bronson. I don't know if you guys know him designing, but his big thing was deep bunkers. So again, all right, so here's the next hole. Okay. So I started working on this one. I think, why did I start working on this one? So 15, Figs, you were talking over here. So you're saying you would take these trees out over here. These AutoGen trees, looks like it. Edit. Where the hell is that? Under sculpt? Yeah. So clear generated trees. Let's see if these are generated. Do they go away? They do. Cool. All right. So you're saying remove those trees and actually expand that water out. So it comes more into play, right? Yeah. And, I have this. Actually, I'm going to do a raise because I don't want to screw with the contour. Sculpt land, raise, my fuzzy brush. And that's the thing. We got to love this fuzzy brush. So, yeah, so coming from the tee box now, yeah, that's a good idea. So there you go. So we put the water into play. And yards to tee. See, that's only 272. Well, I like that because that waypoint will throw me out there if you try to get cocky. My bunker placement here, I'm happy with this. I like that it's over here to catch errant shots. All right, so this, going across the fairway like that, that's okay. And this one was a little funky. I don't know why I did this, but I thought it was cool. And I put this big ass, really deep pop bunker there, which makes this pin pretty tough. But I almost like that. Yeah, I almost like that layout where it juts out. It's different. So, all right. So this one, 15 is good. 16, again, here's the same crap, different day, right? Unnatural looking tee box. I raised it up. I'm like, whoa, dude, this is cool. I got an elevated tee box. Yeah, well, it's a fail. So here we go again. I'm going to make this huge, make it look a little natural here. Let's see what we get. All right, so now it looks natural. Now this box, I think, is flat. So this one, I could leave this as a rectangle. Dwayne, what's up, buddy? So I'm taking my dumpster fire here. This is more of a tutorial because guys have been hitting me up on YouTube and Twitch and saying, well, how do I fix this stuff? Well, I'm showing them now. So my course is a total dumpster fire, Jamison Hills Country Club. If you look at the one that's published, it's a freaking joke. So what I've done is I pulled it back into the designer and I'm literally tearing it apart, that I'm judging it. All right. But I'm also making the changes I would expect to see somebody make to make it either tour worthy or at least database worthy. So, and I'm on the hole 16 already. I did a couple streams last night because it's long. So like this one um, was just raised up. It looked like crap, and this looks okay now. So let's check the sight lines. So for my black tees, I'm going to check this out. And can I see everything I'm supposed to see? I really can't see my bunker over here, so I'm going to fix that. Like I always complain about with these newbie designers, I always say, oh, you do all this hard work and you create a nice bunker and you can't see it, right? So that's a fail. So I need to edit that. I want to be able to see that bunker, which it's a simple fix. Um, so let's go over to that bunker. And we're going to raise that bad boy up. And I really don't want to mess with the contouring of the bunker, so I'm going to use the raise. And we're going to raise that up back here about 3 feet, 5 feet. Make it bigger. And again, I want it to be natural, so I want it to flow down correctly. So it's flowing down this way. Now, can I see that yet? I don't know. So I raised up the back. Let's see from the tee if we can actually see it. Black, play the hole. And voila, right? I can see my bunker now. All right. So something that simple still looks natural. I didn't mess with my contouring of the bunker. I like deep bunkers. Yeah. Jay Kenyon, thanks for stopping by. So I'm a reviewer. I don't know if you're familiar with TGCtours.com, which is the biggest um, community for this game, but I do reviews of courses. So guys build courses, they put them in for review, and it's my job that I go in and I play courses and determine whether they're tour worthy, database worthy, or not approved. And you need to really work on your course before we can get that, so we can advertise and say, hey, this is a good course, go try it. So this course is my course that failed, and it was about a year ago. So people are always asking when we deny a course, hey, dude, or if we classify it as database worthy but not tour worthy. Oh, why isn't my course tour worthy? Or why was it denied? Which is mainly the biggest question. Why was my course denied? So what I'm doing here is I'm literally reviewing my course from a year ago. Somebody else had denied it, another reviewer. I was all pissed off and I couldn't. I'm like, what the hell, man? I spent all this time, and I know him and I talked to him, and he's like, dude, you gave up. It looked like crap. So what I'm doing is going through, because I'm able to show people what sucks about this course and how to fix it. All right. So, like, sight lines are everything for me. I'm always bitching about sight lines. You need to be able to see where you're hitting. Not for every hole, but I like it, right? And like, I worked on that bunker. I like the bunker. All right. I couldn't see that bunker from the tee box. Now I raised that area up around the back, but not, right around it. So it's obvious. That whole area, I made it, raised it about 6 feet. Let's see. So, and I'm looking at the contouring of my fairway here. It's a fail, right? This fairway is a fail. It's just going to hit left and roll into the water. So that's not correct. All right. And this water, I think I worked on this last night. I think. Yeah, I think I made this wider, and I never really. So let's see. I'm just reading Dave's. Yeah, Fig, you're right. Um, about lowering the terrain, 40, 50 out. Yes, you're correct. And the other thing I can do to make it pop, all right, is, whoops, let's edit. What was that? Is that 16? You know, as I find out as I design, like, I got to fix this. Um, because what I did is I made the water wider and didn't really pay attention. I didn't touch anything up here yet. So I damaged the fairway by making this wider. Um, so I need to fix this. So I'm just reading here, Dave. Uh, is there a time limit to get courses approved, submitted? It was claimed straight away, but I'm still waiting. Um, no, that's just not right. Um, so if it was claimed, what's the name of the course, Dave? I mean, normally when I pick a course, to review, I'm doing them within that week, right? So like I think I claimed uh, 5 courses, which I think later this afternoon Greg and I are going to get together and we'll do those. Um, and again, when we can pretty much know after 3 to 5 holes whether a course is tour worthy. Because if your contouring sucks and your layouts suck on the first 5 holes, it's going to suck on the, you know, if you, if somebody picks your course to play and it sucks on the first 5 holes, they're not going to get through 18 anyway, right? So, like this is a total fail, all right? The contouring on this fairway is junk. Yeah, let me check that out, Dave, and find out. Let me, let me actually let me look at it. Well, I'll look at it a little later and find out who who took it, and if anything, I can just claim it myself, okay, and get it done for you. So contouring here, this is what I complain about all the time. It's terrible. So I've got to fix this. Again, I live with the brush right here, and I'm going to make this huge, and I'm going to go, and I've got a macro, which is freaking awesome, um, with my mouse. Like instead of having to click, I could just drag my mouse along and do it. All right, so I just cleaned up this area. All right, and I have to just be a little careful, because now we're not just rolling in to that creek now. It's nice and flat, but I may want to have this angled so it's going from left to right, so it flows down. So what I'll do is I'll take this, raise this up a little bit, 5 feet, trying not to mess with the bunker. And actually, I don't want to do that because that might block the bunker. But I want to keep that angled so the drive does tend to go down towards the water. All right. So if you gradually lower it and bring it in. So we had 5 feet over here, it's 2 feet over here, and you start blending it. It's just a gradual. All right. So now, of course, you can see I lost all my water, but that's okay. So what I'll just do is go in here and create it back. Let's bring this down maybe 5 feet, and let's see what happens. So another 5 feet, dragging it down. Eventually we'll hit the water line. Or I mean, there's so much freaking planning. You're not really even going to see the water anyway. So again, I really wouldn't even worry about it. There's a ravine there, but and again, I didn't know how to do water back then. So instead of making this so freaking deep, I would probably just take another pane of glass. But I'm not going to spend the time to do it on this. Because this is really deep. It's 5 feet. Each time I'm doing this, I'm going down another 5 feet, and I still don't even have the freaking water. So I would never, ever do this again, you know? So we got water going on now. It's tilting a little bit from left to right, the fairway. And instead of having it perfectly flat, if I want to make it a little funky, I can just go in here and create humps and bumps a little bit. But they got to have some rhyme and reason. So if we go over there and put one over there, lower it down. Because there's nothing that, when guys just raise the frickin' stuff up, like, they raise shit up, exaggerated, but, they'll like put stuff like this in there. It's like, dude, you can't do that. I mean, it's got to look natural. So I can put undulations in this fairway, but they have to be gradual. Just randomly pick some spots, change the elevation, the size, and you can see them starting to populate. But the problem is, you have to smooth it later. So we got a little bit of undulation going on here, but the secret is we have to reset the brush and then take it and smooth it, because you got to get rid of those so they don't look unnatural. So this hole's looking better. This green area, again, the bunkers I'm pretty pleased with. I like the bunkers. These could stand to do some sinking down, and I think everybody knows that 1 foot 6 inches, if you set it to that, that's the equivalent of just lightly raking the sand. It doesn't do anything as far as depth. Anything below 1 foot 6 inches will make a difference. So I'm going to take this down to 5 inches. I want to make this deeper. So as long as I have it, and I don't want to make it deeper except inside the bunker, right? So I got to keep that blue in there. And it's looking better. And I can just keep going back and forth, make it a little more deeper. A little more deeper. I like deep bunkers. So if you set it like at 5 feet or 5 inches, what's up, sires? So yeah, I mean, I could go through and like that bunker to me is too flat. So I need to redo this. I don't like bunkers that are not deep. If they're not a hazard, they don't belong there. So let's see what this looks like now. That's better. So you get the gist of it. So that was a fail. It's now playable. Did I actually do anything with this? Okay, so we cleaned it up. I kept this box, this tee box, and that's fine. Even though I'm keeping, a lot of them I'm doing the circles now. So if this was a newly designed course, I would rip this out and create circles. But for time constraints, we did flatten it though, so it looks decent. All right. Hole number 17. Look at this freaking hole. These two holes were a total absolute fail completely. I ran out of space because I based everything on the clubhouse and ending up over here, right? So I put the clubhouse down. I said, "Oh, I need a clubhouse." The most stupid thing I ever did. All right. I needed to just design a course and not worry about it. Gee, does hole 9 and 10 match up with the clubhouse? Can you go get a beer from there? No, screw that. So look at this freaking junk. So I just look at this thing. It's just this was hole number 17. I'm like, oh, okay, dude. It was just this. I have no clue what crack I was smoking when I designed this hole. I mean, it was like I knew I was constrained on yardages, right? So I had this much space. I had this here and this here. Whoops, and this one. 18 to get me to the clubhouse. All right. This one is an ultimate fail. Look at this shit here. I mean, it's a joke. All right. So between these two holes, I don't know what to do with this one. Um, this one would have to be stripped. Yeah, Dave. You know, I mean, I got so yeah, I got so pissed off. I just wanted to get the course done, and because I was running out of real estate because of the clubhouse, I'm like, all right, what the hell can I do? Well, yeah, so I ended up making this piece of crap. So what I'd have to do is get rid of this. So whoops, I didn't want to raise it. So again, and this is what I tell everybody, when I deny a course, it's all about contouring. All right. So now we're back at least down to a normal level. All right. Now the question is, what the hell do I want to do with this hole? So this thing, what do we got? Is this a par? I think I made it a short par. Let me move this waypoint. Here's the black tees. All right. So I made it a short par 4. And hey Matt, what's up, man? Yeah, so the question remains, what do I do with this freaking thing? So I like the idea of being able to drive the green. Um, I don't know, do I keep the idea of having this huge runoff around here because it is a drivable par 4. All right. So set this. So I mean, the concept may have been okay. Now raising it up 25 feet look like crap. Um, Now, did I spline this? Yeah, I did. I splined this. So I think I would redo this. So let's get rid of this dumpster fire. Delete path. Goodbye. All right. I'm going to also get rid of this. I mean, I've got to look at it and see what the hell I want to do with this. Because it's pretty much just a straightaway shot. And I think I started looking. Let's see. All right, so you would take out the right bunker. And again, I never use shapes, but for some reason I said, oh, this course I've got to do shapes. I never use frickin' shapes. I always spline. Okay, so to create a fairway, let's go back to the. This is the way I normally create a fairway. So I use my measuring tool. I go for my waypoint and I move it out about 200 yards, right? Because if you hit the beginner clubs, it's got to have somewhat of a fairway there so they can reach it. So we've got the beginning of the fairway there. And then, so you're saying take the fairway. All right, let's do this. All right, so our fairway is going to be there. And you're saying take this and we could take this out maybe 15 yards there, 6 yards there maybe. And if you're going to lay up, I'll give you a lot more room here. Have it start coming back in. So something like that. What's up, Adam? Yeah, Adam. Um, this is my course from about a year ago that was denied by Matt Fritsch. So what I've been doing is going around the entire course, tearing it apart and rebuilding it because it's such a piece of trash. Trying to figure out what to do. So like this one was just a total fail. Um, so I've got to redesign it. I mean, I might even take, I don't know, the green's not bad. So I'm trying to get suggestions. So, because some of the guys that have been denied in the database, TGC Tours, yeah, they're like, yeah, it's denied because of this, but how do I fix it? Well, I'm showing them in these tutorials. Um, and there were a lot of things wrong with this. Oh my God, my contouring was just pathetic, and my tee boxes were pathetic. This entire hole was pathetic. So at least we got it back to a normal state, and I'm trying to envision how to make this. It's a drivable par four. Whoops. Um, it's a drivable par four, and I'm trying to figure out. Let's see. Yeah, Yeah, the PC, it's awesome to design with. That's for sure. I don't know how you guys use a console to design. It just blows me away. Center of the green, I don't know. Let's see. From the waypoint, if I take it all the way over here to the center of the green, 297. That's about 300 yards to the green as it sits. So in cases like this, where I have a total mental block. Let's see. All right. So yeah, and you know, and again, if I have a mental block, um, I'm doing this. I'm going online and I'm Googling, um, what are the toughest par fours, drivable par fours? So, here's a video. Here's TPC Deer Run. You know, let's see what it looks like. So you can reach it. So just trying to get an idea of I googled what are the most difficult par fours drivable. Which ones? So trying to get an idea of what it looks like. So this one allows you to Riviera number 10. Well, ironically, I did Riviera. So if we go to Blue Golf and we look up Riviera, and we go to the country club and we go to hole number 10. There it is. So you got bunkers out in the middle of the fairway in case you want to lay up. And so there's the green. It's long, skinny, and they give you an area to roll up with. So, but it's like a dog leg right, I guess, sort of. But, as a crow flies, it's 315 yards. So, yeah, I guess I could use Google Earth. So, all right, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this green? Oh, there it is. Let's get rid of the green. Green brush. Goodbye. All right. Rough brush. Goodbye. All right. Let's get rid of all this crap. Bunker brush. Goodbye. All right. So all we have is a plot of land. I'm getting rid of these markers. So now we've got a plot of land. And hole number 18 is over here. Yeah, because that's the thing. Everything was based around the frickin' clubhouse, which was it was stupid. So I'm like, oh, well, I got to have a shot, here so we can walk over to the 18th hole. So waypoint. So 325. I can also move this one. Put that back further. And this one, yards to tee is 203. So you could lay up maybe here, 220. See, I like Fritz's method. He actually designs stuff with the measuring tool and then splines it. So, yeah, 18's a joke. I mean, I actually have area that I can use, but, that's the thing. 17 and 18 need to be redesigned. It's not like it had potential. It was just a total fail. So, let's see. If we have, I don't know, an angled green, I guess for testing purposes, let's try a brush. I don't like brushes. But just for the sake of drivability, so we're going to have a fairly elongated green. And then we're going to have what? So we're going to put something over here. We could put water there. All right, let me see about drivability. All right, let me look. So, I mean, I don't know if I want to do an entire stream on this. I mean, that hole just needs to be redesigned. So that's going to take longer. 18 was a total fail as well. I mean, everything from uh, this, which was a joke. I think, let's see, if we get rid of that, where's my waypoint? So let's just get the waypoint out of my way for now. And I need to get, there we go. So get rid of this bunker. And this is a joke. So again, that was my fail because I started using shapes and I don't know how to use shapes. Yeah, I never use brushes except for this course. I saw somebody, do it and they're like, "Oh, it's so much easier. Everything's nice and smooth." And it is, you know, but what you have to do to get the shapes looking good is just next to impossible. So, delete. So that brush, get rid of this. Yeah, these holes were total fails. All right, so I've got a plot of land. This green was a total joke. Look at this. No run up. And then I stuck a pin. Look at this thing. So it was like one of those holes that I just couldn't envision. All right, so waypoint. I mean, the layout of the hole wasn't too bad. Um, Good question. I think it's a 72. I don't know. Can you see the card from the designer? So, these two, and again, there's the proverbial raise it up, make it look like shit, and with the tee box. I can't get, there it is. Yeah, so it's 18 by moving it closer to the pond. Yeah, I mean, this whole cart path could go away too. I mean, right now it's what? So you got your tee, and to green, it's about 150. So I don't know. I'm going to have to, I'm not going to waste time with this right now because this is really going to take some thought. And I was thinking about doing another fantasy course and taking a break from LiDAR courses. Um, and that'll be a good test to get those two holes the way they should be. But right now, I had a request that somebody was denied. Their database was denied. Let me check something here. He wanted me to go over the course. Adam, are you on Discord? Or should I say, can you get on Discord? Yeah, he was on earlier. Let me see. Hold on. Bill Sellers. Bill, are you still on or no? He messaged me in TGC. Let's see. His course was called the Whiskey Springs Golf Club. Okay. All right. Kent was on. You could put my Whiskey Springs Golf Club on one of your denied streams. Okay. So he wants me to look at the course. All right. So let me get out of the designer. All right. what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to end this stream because it was a tutorial. Okay. Um, let me kill this stream. I'm going to put out a new one within a minute. Just connect to that one or just stay on the channel and it'll pick up again. Okay. But I want to end this stream so I can keep this separate from the the denied, checking those out. Okay. So bear with me one sec. All right. It should be live again. So, all right, let's check out this course. Bill Sellers, Whiskey Springs Golf Club. He wanted to put it on the show and to see what we thought about his course. It was denied, so I guess we can find out why, because I have not played this one. All right, 66 plays. Conditions. I always do very fast, very firm, and very firm. Rest of it I'll keep. All right. So we got the course. Let's create the match. Black tees and pin 3. All right, let's check it out. All right, huge drop. All right, so with that pin, you almost have to like hit it way below. Let's see. All right, let's check it out. Very fast, doesn't matter I'm wet. So we'll just keep hitting it from the tee box until I get a good tempo. We might be here a while. All right, so I'm not, Bill. I have no mercy for you. All right, so let's look. All right, so as far as the driver's concerned, can I get over those trees? Let's find out. Yep, we're good. All right, so now when you designed this build, was it with pro clubs in mind or masters? What do you play? Okay, you play pro. All right, because I play master, and I could tell because your bunkers over on the left side there did not come into play for the master clubs for that tee bot. When I teed off. All right, let's see. Oh no, that's cool. No, I mean Greg has been playing. My partner in crime. He's never played the master clubs. He's had the game for since TGC one. Um, you know, and he likes the pro clubs. So, and there's really no need to play the pro clubs. All right, so like the contouring here, this is what I just did my video on. I don't like that these cliffs. Um, I just don't like that the look, right? I just like to have that flattened. In other words, if you take that fuzzy brush, all right, and just get rid of that, make it look like, I mean, unless it's a theme of your course, it's, and the planning is it's like, okay, so he's got some planning here, but the rest of the pond and the stream has nothing, right? So to me, that's just laziness, right? Either leave it alone, and the contouring here, okay, is pretty bad. It really is. You want to have this so it's angled out, so it like flows into the water instead of a steep drop. Okay. So like all that. And again, if you take that fuzzy brush on page 4, top left, expand it out 50 feet, 100 feet, and click it, okay, it'll take that down nicely. All right. All right. So 285. All right. I can see bunkers over there. It's like this this bump here, Bill. I would lower all this. And the reason why is because of sight lines, right? I mean, you have bunkers out there, show them, all right? Like you'll see more of the course, and it doesn't come into play, all right? And let's see. And the bunkering needs some help with the contouring. Okay. I mean, I can see it's like almost flat on the left side and then really far up on the right. So I don't know if you did any contouring or if that's just, you just laid the bunker down and that was just the contouring of the land that it happens to be on. And same with the fairway. See what you got. See how the mound, it just goes boop right where the bunker is and it's sunk down. And that whole left side there, you want to try to even that out, right? So it's not, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it had to do with when you laid the bunker down, but just needs some contouring cleanup. And again, that fuzzy brush will be your friend. I don't know who advised you to do that, but that's not correct as far as I'm concerned, or anybody else that I know that designs. I don't know. I mean, and again, it's all based on preferences, right? He, yeah, he was saying somebody told him to raise up one side of the bunker and leave the other side low. I don't quite understand that. And hey, Bill, looking at this green, it's flat, man. Look, there's like no break. And I have it on hard and fast, which means there's no break at all if you have a slower speed. That in itself would fail the course, right? So there's absolutely no break in this putt. Zachary, thanks for following me. So right there, okay, no break on the green at all. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm looking at your tee boxes. If I can get over there, these need help. Okay, so, and again, if you watch my video, the one I just did last night on my course, the one that was failed had this type of layout, right? So it was a very unnatural looking tee box. It's like raise it up, raise it up. I don't know. That's a good question, man. But yeah, these tee boxes need help. Um, and the greens again. I mean, I'm looking at it, Bill, and the again, I've got it 187, right, which is the fastest speed, and those they're not even moving. Oops. third one top row and then going to the middle one. Okay, so looking at the green, and again, it's 187s, and look at the lines. They're not even hardly moving at all. So if you set it up for a lower speed, there would be no movement on these greens. So at this point, Bill, I probably would have failed it. Just because of the contouring. The tee boxes. Okay, yeah, 163s. I mean, the last couple of holes, just the greens themselves um, are pretty flat. And since half of the game is spent on the greens, they've got to be interesting. And if they're just, flat, it's like, yeah, okay. All right. So, all right. Now, this hole, I like the hole design. Yeah, we got a false front going on, which is good. Okay. And again, I mean, it's like the movement around anywhere near this screen or near the hole, it's like flat. Like if you look to the right of where I'm standing, there's absolutely nothing. It's flat completely. Now, granted, you do have runoff, going over on the far left there. You got yellow and red. So I don't know if you hit the fuzzy brush or a brush um, to flatten it out and it just got flattened too much. I don't know. Fuzzy page 1. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I know, I don't know who there's so many tutorials out there on how to create a decent looking green, um, with undulations. I mean, there's different brushes you can use. It all depends on what the effect is you want. Okay. I mean, your ideas with the holes is good. I mean, I like the way the design and the thought that went into the various holes. But it's all about um, the contouring, around the course. That's all. Yeah, I mean, if this is your first course, it's pretty good, because the layout of the holes, which is really important. So it's not, a boring course. You have to think about your shots. Right. So it's like this hole, let's see. I like this hole in that it makes you, can I hit my driver? Can I hit my 3 wood, 5 wood, whatever? Um, I mean, the contouring, like the left side here on the fairway, right? Take that same fuzzy brush, you know, and just clean up this edge and the area around that edge just to clean it up a little bit. You know, it's just it's little simple things like that. Oops, so I'll be wet again. Um, oh, look at that, right behind the steps. Do you think I'm actually going to hit the step or is it going to go through it? What do you think? You're going to break your leg if you have that step sticking up like that, right, Bill? So you just sink that down, get it level with the ground. Fortunately, it let me hit right through it. Yeah, just sink it down and get it level with the ground, and you're good. And again, on the contouring on the left side of the fairway, especially near the water, it needs help. You see all those pock marks. I don't know how to explain it. Like right there. Just take that fuzzy brush. I don't know why that's sunk down like that, but you can see all the waves. Excuse me. The waves going all the way down the fairway on the left side. So I don't know if you were just creating, you know, unevenness deliberately or whatever. It could have been deliberate, but just smooth it out a little bit. That's all. Yeah, that's all it needs. It just needs some smoothing. You know, these are all simple fixes. Okay, there was a bunker there. Okay. Yeah, I mean, just smooth it out. It's a real simple fix. And the bunkers just need a little better contouring. And again, whoops, thundercocked that. Yeah, and I mean, if you watch the video I did last night, um, yeah, it's all about contouring. All right, so this one's got some undulation, but we got yellow right within the 9 square, which would not be legal. So again, just a little bit of your fuzzy brush. See, it just takes it back down. You can't. So if you don't get it in that hole, it's just going to come right back down again. So, I'm being tough on you, Bill. You wanted me to be. So, I mean, I'm just telling you, what I'm looking at. Again, the tee boxes are not so much, like that one raised up there. The area around the tee boxes definitely needs help. Yeah, like Adam said, I mean, I'm not trying to be a dickhead. I'm not, you know, um, it's just like my course. I just ripped it a new asshole, and it was a total. My course was a total piece of crap. Um, and I like your little waterfall over there. Um, so you're finding out, all sorts of different tools. Now having a waterfall on each side, you're like, okay, where's the water flowing from, right? So you're going to want to have that, flowing from one water source, right? Either from one pond flowing down to the other one or vice versa. But I know, this is your first core. You're like, oh, cool. Look at this water. I could create waterfalls, which is cool. All right. All right. Where am I? I need to go over here. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Just, it's like, just think about contouring. It's like your green right there. What is that hole in there? You got that big sunken in area right over to the left of where I'm looking. Because greens are, they're half of your play. So, and it's like this area right there. Get rid of it. All right. That rock type stuff, you can actually um, just get rid of that again with the fuzzy brush. Get it, so it's grassy. I mean, unless that's what you wanted it to look like, um, I would just do it. All right. So yeah, I mean, oh, there we go. All right. So at this point, Bill, I would have denied it. I mean, after 9 holes, and you know, I think I made it pretty clear as to why. I mean, it's just a lot of contouring. Your concepts behind the whole design is good. It's just, it just needs some help with the contouring throughout the course and the greens. Like, what you can do, and I can show you this. Um, we can just take a course. I can take my dumpster fire here I was working on and show you about greens. All right. So say I want to, oh, and the other thing is lighting, right? You can have a course that's kick ass. And if your lighting doesn't look good, it's a shame because it makes a course that plays well look like crap. So, um, like if I take this course and I crank it up by default to lighting and make this at noon, okay, and just, I don't know, and you have it like a really bright, when you go to work with it or you go to play it, it just doesn't look as good, right? Instead of, you know, changing the lighting. And these are things you'll look at later. You go to lighting. I always like, personally, I like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that type of thing, darker. All right. Like 4 o'clock, and just as the sun's going down, I just like it. It makes things pop more, especially bunkers and that type of thing. But anyway, back to your what I wanted to show you with a green. So if you have a green, and we'll flatten this right now. So I'm going to flatten this. Goes to Twitch. Thanks for follow, bud. So let's flatten this green. I'm not going to save it. All right. But we can even use our regular fuzzy brush and just go out here. And I'm just going to flatten this bad boy everywhere. Okay. Oops. I didn't know it was raising it 2 inches. Let's try that again. And when you do this, it's gonna screw my bunkers up too, which is good because then I can show you about bunkering. So like this bunker over here, this is the type of bunker you had. So if you have like this, you know, I just flattened it. Okay. But that's a fail for me, right? I don't like flat bunkers. So what I need to do is I need to sculpt it, flatten it. And again, I use the fuzzy brush, this one, make it really small, and then I make it about that big. And you have to stay in the lines and bring this down to about -5 inches. And then I will just take this and I keep the blue just on the right on the edge and try to keep it there. You don't want to go out too far because if you do, it's just gonna it's not gonna look correct. So you got to keep running around and come over here and now, it's getting better, all right? But to me that's not deep enough. So I'm going to bring it down to 1.5 feet and I'm going to do the same thing. Now, I'm going to make this bigger and I'm actually going to take it. You can see it's larger now, right? So I'm going to take this and really, really sink this down, just down the center line. All right, see, now we're getting somewhere. All right. And you'll get the handle of the bunkers, but I don't know. It all depends. This whole thing with, oh, one side wants to be higher than the other. I don't see where that concept comes into play, truthfully. I mean, to me, it needs to chamfer from both sides and trickle in, unless it's like a waste bunker or something like that, right? So that's my suggestion on bunkers. Depending on how deep you want. And as everybody knows that knows me, I like deep bunkers. They need to be a hazard. If they're just sitting there with sand in it and I can hit a 1 iron out of it, no problem, and it doesn't hit the lip, you may as well just remove it. Back to the greens though. So say you have a flat green and you want to create one. I'm going to flatten this even more. All right, so I can't get any flatter right now than this green. All right. So there's a couple different ways you can create undulation on a green. One cool thing is you can use, let's see, where the hell's that brush? It's funny when I haven't designed in a year with fantasy courses, I forget where all the frickin' brushes are because I'm doing LiDAR. Everything's true to life. Now we're doing fantasy. It's like where's that frickin' brush? Um, I need sculpt. Okay. Okay. Flatten. See all these funky brushes here? They are here for a reason. And you can play around with these, like this one. All right. You can take this on a green, all right, to make it naturally undulated. All right. As long as you don't overdo it. So you can take this brush and raise it up maybe 6 inches. All right. And just take it, click over here, click, click, click. All right. And it should start. And you can see by the lines, okay, you can see the break starting to happen in here, okay? And, there's that brush. There is, uh, I've used this brush, any of these really. So, say you want to make a two-tiered green, you could take something like this one and say, okay, I want to make the back portion higher than the front. So you can take this, make this the proper size of the area at the top. All right. and raise it up. So we'll raise it up, I don't know, 2 feet. And just click it. Now we just raised up that section back there 2 feet. All right. So now you can see, the area at the top is pretty flat, but we do have that big rise there, and if we putt on this surface now, it's going to be a difficult green, right? So, and you can do that same brush, any of these other brushes, play around with them, go out into one of your fairways and try them. Like you can, I don't know, we could take any of these, like, these funky ones, because there's nothing more boring than a course that just has totally flat fairways. So you can play around with these things and say, oh, what the hell does this do? Well, let's try it. All right. You can put this one here. I got it raised up 2 feet. And again, that's, I use keyboard, so I can try something right now and say, what the hell is this going to do? I just clicked it. What did it do? So I can look down here and find out what it did. Well, it created a lot of undulation in the fairway. And if it's too much, you can undo it. And you say, all right, spin it around. Let's try it this way. Make it a little smaller and not 2 feet. Let's just make it, I don't know. Let's try. And if you really, really, really want to see what the hell this brush does, raise it 20 feet and click. And you'll see what it does. Look at this. All right. So that is a magnified view of that brush and what it does. So if you want to create undulations, you can try these different brushes and just see what's it do. Click it. All right. Try this one. What's this one do? All right. So you can see the different brushes and what their function is. So you got 4 different ones, exaggerated, all right, but you can see the gist of it. So that looks like a pretty good one there. So we could try maybe taking that one and putting it back to a reset here of 0 feet and raise it up maybe 1.3 inches. All right. Bigger the better. Let's see. Let's put it there. So click, click. Let's just put it in here. You can spin it. Hit him again. And let's see what it looks like. You never know until you try, right? So right now, there's a lot of unevenness in the fairways. Well, that's what this brush is for. And then you can, right, exactly. And anytime you use those funky brushes, you always want to go over anyway to our favorite brush over here, this one, and just do a quick wipe. Whoops. Let's undo that because I need to reset it. And we need to reset it again because I'm too stupid to click the correct button. But, you just run that fuzzy brush around to make it look natural. So it took that area over here that looked like crap. All right. And it now looks pretty good. And the fairway has some, some gentle undulations in it. So it's not completely flat. So if you hit a certain spot, it's not just going to be a perfect lie. So that's it. All right. Same with the greens. So play around with those brushes and see if that helps you out, man. All right. All right. So yeah, Bill. No, man. Just that's the thing. Heed our advice and just forget about the other one. That's your first design, and just start working on another one, and try to think about everything that we went over. And you can also come back to the videos to how did he do that? But yeah, just give it a shot. And if that was your first course, I mean, the holes were laid out strategic, like I mean, it played well. It's just all the little things with the contouring around the water and the tee boxes, and just make it more natural. And if you watch my video from last night, um, you'll see how I ripped out. I mean, and I have to show you this. Um, I have to show you the video because you'll see. Remember, I'm telling you how to do that, and look at the junk that I published. Let's see. I think it was this one. Let me share my screen. And I was showing this earlier, but I don't know why. Oh, all right. So let me see here. I've got to find these. I mean, you talk about a junk course. Let's find the one. Oh, what was it? Let's look at, what was it, 14? So look at this one. Look at this tee box. So this is done exactly the way I told you not to do. I just took an area with the brush and raised it up. All right. I mean, it's just, some of these are just pathetic. Where is my 13? I think it was 13. Or was it 14? No, that's the par 3. We're getting close. Wait until you see this dumpster fire. And then I'm going to, still 13. All right, look at this. Look at that mess. I'm going to pause it there. So I raised all that land up because I wanted an elevated tee box. All right. And it looks like crap. All right. And if you look at this hole now, in that screenshot, you can see all the huge cliff on the right side of the cart path, everything. It all looks like crap. Now, take a look at it. So if I go into my designer, let's see. Watch how much nicer it looks. So again, I'm telling you things that I've already done, you know. I mean, as far as contouring and all that, um, where was that? 14? Is that 14? Yeah, hole 14. Actually, that's the one we were looking at. So here's hole 14. That can't be right. Is it really? No way. It does say 14, but I don't think it is 14. I guess it is. Yeah, you can see me sinking it down here. So I had to take all that down with that fuzzy brush and then just clean it up because it just was pathetic. And I'm still not done. I'm still lowering all this. And you can see how big that brush is going out. So watch the video that I did last night and you can see, look at this, I cleaned it all up. There's no cliff anywhere now. And it looks natural. And I had a wall up there. And I think I show it. And this fairway is atrocious. I ended up ripping out that fairway. Look how high up that wall is that I have right there. That's how high I manually moved it up. That's pathetic. So, yeah, there's things to, yeah. Yeah, so this was in the video from last night. I think I did this one. So, yeah, it was a total dumpster fire. But, 14 now looks good. And no wonder I'm in the wrong freaking course. I'm like, this looks too good. Yeah, this one was approved. Actually, it was tour worthy, I think. So no, I'm in the wrong one. It is Jamison Hills GC. There, that's CC. Yeah, that's the one. So this is the course that's the dumpster fire. So 14 is right here. So if you remember, with that big ass cliff and everything else, now it looks natural. So it looks like a real golf hole with good sight lines and voila. So you don't want to do what I did. And that's just raise areas up and just for the sake of doing it. All right, guys. So I'm going to cut the stream. I think Greg and I will be on a little later, and we're going to be doing some courses, or we may be just playing for fun. I don't know yet. But it's good. Glad everybody stopped by, and we will probably, meaning Greg and I, talk to you later. All right. Have a great one. See ya.